Alrighty, there we go. So I am Beverly Campbell. I'm so fascinated around words. I created this space for like-minded people to share words they've created to inspire, make people think, laugh, and enjoy life. Adjust your fascinators, grab your tea, and enjoy. I'm an activist, author, and catalyst for self advocacy. I currently have an ebook available at my website, ebonyroyalapparel.bigcartel.com, titled Resist, Rescue, Rest Life Support for the Soul. It's a tiny guide to big freedom and guilt free rejuvenation. Ebony Royal Apparel links will be posted periodically during this broadcast, as well as Miss Itiel's links to her memoir, as well as where you could purchase all of the things and goodies that she has available. How are you, Queen Miss Itiel?
Good morning. I am well. Thank you. That's a beautiful intro of all the things that you are doing. And I do have my tea, so I'm all set.
Alrighty, so today on ParTeas by Bev, I have the honor and pleasure of sharing this moment with Miss Itiel McVay, the queen of living good, feeling good, and smelling good. And I'll just start by asking, what was the catalyst that birthed your memoir, your book?
Well, Beverly, I birthed my memoir enterprise from 3 observations. So, one, the woman entrepreneur, whether an artist or a handcrafter like myself, who has decided to take her hobby into the stages of enterprise. So in the beginning stages, she has great zeal, but not too long after becomes despondent because she realizes that the images of business that were placed before her are more capitalistic, but her disposition is more holistic. So she decides against progressing in the process. 2, the woman entrepreneur who steadily gleans from other enterprising women. She is more infatuated with the idea of business and vicariously soaks up inspiration for those women who are progressing in their business. She never applies the lessons nor suggestions, but she continues to believe she will have a prosperous livelihood. And 3, the woman entrepreneur who allows extrinsic matters and life situations affect her creativity.
That's amazing. And so the memoir, the book that we're talking about, is Enterprise, a holistic anthology of experiences through the Black woman's lens. And you're such a beautiful queen. How did you get to the place where you are able to share your pretty with audacity?
So, yeah, the pretty is my work, right? Sharing it with others through social media, whatever medium that I had to do that. So I was able to share pretty with audacity by starting to be present in my work instead of presenting my work. And what that meant and means for me is the ability to be accountable for the person that I am, my behaviors, my actions, my thoughts, my outlooks, my wrongs, my brilliance, everything that is me and not anyone else. So I've always been a self-aware person. So when making that decision to be present in my work, it wasn't a challenging shift. So I stopped posting for posting's sake. I do good work, and it is the behind the scenes and the people that I serve that need the transformed me. So now when sharing my pretty on social media, which is my work and my words show as being something that's evergreen and not just something that is trendy.
That's amazing. I'm trying to figure out how to, for some reason, I don't see the link. And thank you for that. I have a Facebook group called Bees, Beautiful, Encourage, Elevated, Empowered Sisters. And
Okay.
so share something using either each one of those words, beautiful, encourage, elevated, empowered sisters, or one of those words, something that would inspire the
Okay.
listeners.
Okay, sure, I can do that. So, beautiful. I create beautiful products that adds joy to people's lives. Encourage. One seed that I have planted into my daughters and words that I share when speaking with other women is learn how to encourage yourself. Especially as women entrepreneurs, we often want likes and shares and favorable feedback around the clock and data girls. But you have to learn how to self encourage your way through the process of your work, of your skill set, of your entrepreneurship, and elevate it. So elevate your thoughts, elevate your behavior, elevate care for others, and your prosperity will elevate too. And when I say prosperity, I'm not only referring to material. In fact, I am not referring to material at all. I'm actually referring to the intangible, the better you, because success is internal. So choose to be elevated. And I do not have anything for empowered or sisters. Nothing comes to mind for those two.
And you're actually doing both of those today. I appreciate you for joining me today here. So, just joining me and being in sisterhood with what I have going, and also sharing with the world what it is that you have created. And so, what your work is empowering in and of itself. You've been a long time entrepreneur. And your work is amazing, and so this new projects that you have out are definitely empowering. So you're doing it as we speak, and so
I
sh-
appreciate that. Thank you.
you're welcome. And share what you want the world to know about your memoir, Enterprise, a holistic anthology of experiences through a Black woman's lens, or something that you believe the readers and the listeners will walk away with once they pick up that memoir.
So, yeah, my memoir enterprise, a holistic anthology of experiences through a Black woman's lens, is not a self help book, but will encourage self help. I want women, especially those who have a more holistic disposition, to purchase it, read it, sit with it, reflect from it, have musings from it. And then if they have questions or comments, I am accessible. Questions and comments can be submitted to me at musings by etl.com on the Connect page. And presently, I have an audiobook called ETL Reads, and 2 episodes are available on patreon.com/smell good spa, where they hear me read uh, certain titles from my memoir enterprise.
Thank you so much for that. And I have something the memoir, a question, something from the memoir that you added that
Okay.
was very profound to me. Um,
Okay.
I really enjoyed listening to episode one of the musings, and you said when no shouldn't be no, what stood out was your interpretation of fear, consistently saying no tied to fear.
Mm-hmm.
And also, some people don't want to be wanted. I found that very true and profound, and that you don't have to care to care. And so, would you like to speak on any of those, or just go in a little bit on that?
So when no shouldn't be no, the fear, anything specific that you had, or you just want me just to elaborate your audience? Just give a brief summation of that.
Okay, so I'll say when you said some people don't want to be wanted, and that's true. I also believe that some want to be wanted, but by particular people.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're not wanted by certain people, sometimes people have a hard time accepting love from the people they didn't expect it from.
Mm.
So when you said some people don't want to be wanted, I kind of felt that about it.
And you are exactly right. It's just that they have this. So let's take it to entrepreneurship, which my book is about, and that is a holistic aspect there in entrepreneurship, and why many people struggle through it. They do not know how to not only the want to be wanted, reflect, and not understanding how to ask for help or how to accept the help from the person that's had the experiences. Um, that fear at times can cause envy, and it shows up in not wanting to be wanted. So there's a lot of suffering there that translates into blaming others. So, for example, I gave the number two woman who gleans. She's a gleaner for inspiration because she may fit into that category of not wanting to be wanted. So, the inspiration is really what keeps her going. Uh, so, she cannot apply anything because the application really calls on her to rely on and depend on others. It doesn't mean that you need to be great friends in these collaboration. It just means that you have to understand that each person has value that they can bring to the table. And so when a person does not want to be wanted, they can never see the value that someone else can bring to the table to help them propel along. So they just remain in that fear pocket, because there's only two ends of a spectrum. There's fear and love, and anything else that operates within that's negative falls on the fear spectrum. And anything that operates with openness and accountability and responsibility and seeing value in someone else starts to flow down to the love spectrum. So that is so I'm glad that you saw that in that title, that stood out to you.
Okay, and so if anyone's on the YouTube side, I do have the link for Miss ETL's Patreon on the YouTube side, and for whatever reason, I don't see
That allows them to listen to the first two episodes of ETL Reads.
and so you guys joined into the room before me. I'm not exactly sure if that has something to do with it. By you being a moderator, if you can tap those, if you can tap those three buttons, you may be able to add the link for me.
Okay. So
Because I'm not on as a moderator. I'm running the room, but for that's probably why.
Okay.
And so
So let me do that.
so for everyone that wants to follow the link, I do have it up on the YouTube side. I'm gonna put the other link here. And then did you want to take a few questions or?
Um, can you hear me? I'm just looking for the link so I can. There we are.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a couple.
Okay.
Questions if anyone has anything that they would like to ask that I can shed some light on. I can do that.
Okay, so if anyone wants to come up, wonderful, wonderful. So the links are up. The link is up. You can go ahead and tap the link to support Miss McVay. And if you have any questions, you can come up and ask. And if not, I would just like to say thank you so much, ETL, for joining me today. It's really been amazing. I love your memoir and everything else that you're doing. And are there any words that you would like to share with the readers and listeners before we leave this morning?
My words, which have been on my lips for the past, so it's basically what I do. I care for humanity through the well-being of women. So I close with, remember to care for humanity.
I thank you so much for that. And I just wanted to remind everybody that you can go ahead and click that link at the top to go ahead and purchase and support ETL McVay and all of the things that she has going on right now, and especially that memoir. It's really amazing. And I've read it myself. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I also just wanted to remind you that this is Parties by Bev with Beverly Campbell. We've got your bag, catering to your cup of tea. Remember the tea kettle, it is always up to its neck in hot water, yet it still sings. The author of that quote is unknown. And so I thank you, Miss ETL, for joining me here on House and being such a gracious host. I'm a guest today, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the listeners, Derek, uh, Miss Stephanie, and Sandy for joining us. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. You enjoy the rest of your day as well.